Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of CarpFishing.Tips. Check out our Linktree link where you can find all our links to our Instagram, YouTube, merch shop, all that good stuff. This week we went through to 50 Rand Dam again. This time we actually got to fish on the side that we've always been wanting to fish on, where they've got these pretty little thatch swims. It looks like the VIP section of the dam. So we've always wanted to fish on that side, and we got to fish that side this week. We've been trying a new trick with our carp fishing mold. So what we're doing is we're using a really big mold when we arrive. The first batch of ground bait that we put in is in a really big mold, so it makes a nice big mealy bomb. We're still trying the tiger nuts to see if we can get any kind of catches. And this week on the other hook we put a floaty. We were watching Let's Go Fishing, Komon's Hengel, what's his name? Lurky Lurvies, I think. Can't remember. He's from Coniflex, and he was fishing with floaties, so we thought we'd give that a try and see how that goes. On this boulder we're putting some molasses. I think that there is Devil Trap, if I'm not mistaken. And Gumtree as well. No, it was molasses, Gumtree and Peach Puzzler. That's what we put on that one. And we just launched it out straight in front of us as far as we could throw it. It was probably about, I want to say 70 meters, but I think it's closer to about 50-60 meters. We didn't measure it this time. This week we didn't do measurements of how far we were casting. Here's our other mealy bomb. We also tried using our line clips this week. Also another trick from can't remember the gentleman's name. Anyway, from Coniflex, and from some tips we were reading on one of the fishing forums. I can't remember if it was Fishing by the Sea or Sea Line Fishing or something like that, where they were talking about the fact that presentation and always hitting the same spot, presentation of the bait and ground bait, like vicinity is very important. So the two rods are out straight ahead of us at about 50 meters. The little telescopic rod is probably about 15-20 meters to the left, very close to the bank. As the day was wearing on, we weren't getting any bite. The little telescopic was twitching, so there was definitely something going on there. And then the telescopic, we threw it on to the right of the swim, and this is what happened. We got a huge take. What happened here is we threw out almost parallel to the bank. There was a group, there was a family out fishing at the thatch right in front of me, well, kind of in front of me with my handy. They were sitting there. They actually caught a little fish, probably about 2 kilos, well, from the distance where I was sitting, the size that it looked. And I saw little risers coming up from where they were. Then obviously the ground bait, I think they must have thrown in some ground bait towards the bank. So I decided, you know what, I'm seeing the risers, let me throw the bait that way. On this specific bowl, I'll show you a bit later, you'll see what I think worked here was we put on almond, and we put on an almond and honey marshmallow, funnily enough. We got these marshmallows, I thought they were really cool, and it's honey and almond, that's what it is. It's these Big Daddy large marshmallows. No, Big Daddy baits, that's what it is, large marshmallows. They're yellow, and they're on the pot, on the thing it says honey and almond mix. And within 15-20 minutes or so, got a take. Really strong take, as you can see. It took me quite a while to get him in about 5-10 minutes. It was a decent sized fish, eh? really scrappy. Again, what's interesting about most of these dams is these margins are really filled with a lot of big fish. Most of my really big fish on all my videos normally comes from a margin or from a reed line. Some of you who are more experienced probably know why that is. I have no clue why that is. I just assume it's because when everyone leaves from the bank, we all tend to throw the ground bait right there in front of the swim, so the fish get used to it, and they know that, you know, around 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, which is around when we got our take. Might have been between 5 and 5:30 when we got this. No, I lied. Yeah, between 4:30 and 5, let's say. We got this take. So the fish obviously know that the anglers have moved away, the danger is gone. Also, it helps that I cast all the way, what is it, about 10 meters or so away from where I was actually fishing. Yeah, and this fish literally took off. I thought for a moment that it was a bowl because I couldn't move the fish. The fish was just, I was pulling on the line and the fish just didn't move. Kind of just sat there. But yeah, he gave up a really good fight. As you can see, this poor little telescopic, my goodness, it's really bending. Look at that bend in that rod. Oh goodness. Honestly, the cheapest rod I have, this whole rod reel combo cost me 190 rand, and I think it's caught more fish than the other 2 rods combined, never mind. No, I swear it's a really lucky little rod, and I'm not sure if it's the line or if it's just that it just happens to be that it's always in the margin, so it has a higher percentage of finding fish. Very bizarre to me. But yeah, I think I'm winning. The fish just didn't want to get tired. He wasn't tired, he wouldn't come into the net. Look at this. Still fighting. Still there. Sorry about the glare of the sun. Unfortunately, I was facing west, and all I had the whole day was just the sun beating down on my face. But yeah, still, it was really pretty and really relaxing, as it normally is. At least this time we managed to catch fish as well. Relaxation is great, but the fish at the end of the line is even better. Come on! Get that fish in already, man. Can you stop playing? I swear when this thing took off, I thought it was, I literally thought it was the biggest fish ever. Either I just haven't been fishing I haven't caught the fish in a really long time and I've forgotten what that feels like. Or this fish was actually a decent size. You guys let me know, what do you think? So this fish, including the net, is 4.29 kilos. So minus about 500 grams for the net. So it's 377, 378. Around, or 378 I suppose you could call it. 3.7 kilos. 3.8 kilos, yeah. Nice little fish. Sorry about the picture. I thought I'd got a better picture than this. Turns out my photography skills are something to be desired. 4.29 kilos. So So there it is, honeybee, that's what it's called, honeybee. Large marshmallows by Big Daddy Baits. We quickly retied another rod. We put on almond syrup. We put on quattro. And we put on, what was the third one? Honey. So we put almond, honey, and quattro onto this mini ball. And that's what got us that fish. Again, we've got the tiger nut on. As I said, we're just testing out the tiger nuts to see if they're any good as a hook bait. So far, nothing's been very interested in the tiger nuts. I don't know if that's just because of the flavor we got. The flavor is tutti frutti, so it's like a mix, or it's a tropical mix. I can't remember, but it's one of those. It's a mix of fruit scent. We've normally had pretty good luck on tutti frutti type baits. The fish seem to like it. I think it caters to more fish as opposed to having only a strawberry or only a grenadilla. Oh, and watch this. So you didn't see it in this clip, but I threw the bait out and it hit the bank instead of going into the water. It scared a whole family of geese. Anyway, I was so excited to try and get the bait back in. I didn't even bother putting a bowl zip or anything on it. Just took it as it is, launched it back out. Yeah, and let it settle there. And just gave it a couple of tugs to make sure it wasn't snagged up or anything. And this is what the bowl looked like. As you can see, completely deformed. It didn't start out great, and it ended even worse. So there you go. You can see the honeybee marshmallow here. On the other side is the tiger nut. And here we go. Put in the little telescopic as well. I went a little bit closer because this has very little backbone. So I'm always worried that it, like as it is, I'm not casting that far. But this thing's also, although even though I say that, I mean, it casts pretty damn far when you hurl it through the air. So the reason why I needed to make sure that the ground bait wasn't hooked up was along that whole bank is just rocks and rocks and rocks and rocks. So the chance of getting snagged or cut off or whatever is very, very high. And there it goes off again. As you can see, this is my bigger, stronger surf fishing rods that I use for carp fishing and freshwater fishing. And as you can see, the bend in that rod, I mean so the little telescopic, I know everything feels very heavy on it because it's a very light rod and it doesn't have any backbone. This rod here normally doesn't bend this way, and normally when it bends this way, you're snagged in something. This fish didn't move. If I thought I was in a bobble or catfish on the little rod, on this one I was sure this thing was a whale. I mean, I was literally saying to myself, this has to be a whale. What is this? It can't be. Like, how big is this fish? I'm trying to reel the fish in, and the fish is just fighting me every step of the way, and it's strong. It's not like it's 1, 2, 3 and the fish is out. It's giving me a good fight. As you can see, every time I pull, the rod just bends and bends and bends and bends. This is also a really long fight. I think I must have caught him at around 5:30 or so. 20 to 6, and I only got him on the bank at like 10 to 6 o'clock. It took me forever to bring him in. Forever. I also don't know if this bank, because of all the rocks, the fish are skittish, so they fight more to stay in the lake, and they're kind of like scared to come to the rocks, obviously. But maybe they just know that the rocks mean you've been caught. And like a real champion angler, I didn't put on my boots this week, which I've been trying to make an effort to put my boots on, so that I can wade into the water there, at least, you know, up to my ankles or up to halfway up my calf, because the boots go obviously up to my knee. Well, I thought, well, you know, this looks fine, it's pretty timid, there's nothing really serious, and truth Bob, land up catching fish. And look, that sunset, in terms of this whole scene of me catching this fish, having the African sunset in the background, you know, the fish giving me such a fight. I don't think I've had such a good experience in a very, very long time, and actually being present in the moment to say, geez, you know, look at how amazing this moment is. It's just, it was really fantastic. And the sunset really took me by surprise. You'll see towards the end of the video, I've put in a couple of shots that I got from the video. So sorry if it's a bit grainy or a bit out of focus. And finally we get this monster in. There you go. There he is. And both fish, I couldn't see them, you know, up until the end. That's when they finally showed up. But all the way through, they wouldn't breach the water so that I could see what it was. Is it a carp? Is it a catfish? Is it a sea monster? Is it the first one on the telescopic? I thought it was a turtle. I was like, I've never seen a turtle in this dam. Do you think I just caught a turtle? Beautiful fish, beautiful fish. Really nice, good size. I will give you another tip here. As you can see, my hook actually came. So when I don't know what happened, but as I was pulling the rod, the hook and the line obviously broke. So you need to be mindful of that when you're fishing. Is that, you know, as much as you want to bring the fish in as fast as possible, you know, because you want to catch him, you put him in the net, you want to weigh him and all the rest of it, just be aware that your hook and the line could be frayed because you've been fishing all day, or, you know, it's the third time you've used the rig, or whatever the case may be, and it'll just take a split second and the hook's left in the fish's mouth, and you're left pulling in your empty rig. You know? So subsequent to this, after this fishing session, I came home and I retied all my rigs, put all the hooks, you know, retied from the hook point all the way up to the swivel, through the feeder and everything. Made sure I'm ready for next week. And 5.1 kilos, so minus about 500 grams, looking at a 4.5 kilo fish, 4.5, 4.6. Really, really nice fish. Looked in really good condition, and full of energy. I mean, as you could see, I put the net back in the water, and the fish was already ready to take off. He wasn't phased. Yeah, this video is actually a lot better in terms of seeing the fish itself. Yeah, you can see, nice orange tail, really good size. And that's the sunset, guys. That's the what do you call it? That was my office for the day. Just so beautiful and serene. what an awesome day. And the whole time as I was packing up, there was just all these risers everywhere. As far as you could see, there was just rising fish and ripples on the water the whole time. So summer's definitely here, and the fishing looks like it's going to be really, really good. Really so awesome. And then the rod pod. So you guys know I've bought this little tackle organizer. My car's over there. These little huts here. So there's all my gear: camera, camelback, rods. What do you call it? My chair. So I put my rods in my chair over the one arm. Grab the CarpFishing tackle organizer, and with the carp mat and everything, and wheel it up. I'm just showing you how convenient this thing is. I love it. It's amazing. Most guys, to get to and from their car, normally take at least 10 minutes and 5 or 10 trips to grab everything. With me, I arrive, pull out the tackle organizer, grab my rods, grab my chair, put everything else along the tackle organizer, and I'm ready to go. Most times it doesn't show its worth, but in cases like this where the fetch is 100, well, probably not 100 meters, but whatever that distance is, it really comes in handy. You know, you're in and out within minutes. Now you might say, well, what's the difference? Well, the difference is 10-15 minutes. Gives you 10-15 minutes extra to set up, to throw in ground bait, to tie up rigs, to get settled, whatever the case is, or gives you 15 minutes extra to actually fight the fish. And then this is just me making sure I haven't left anything else behind, any rubbish or any equipment. And that's me back to the car. Hey. So what is my tip, guys? It looks like for 50 Rand dam, I definitely suggest to you use floating hook baits with stuff that will actually keep it off of the bottom. It seems like there's a lot of silt on these dams. I have found that a lot of the time when I bring in my ground bait holder and hooks and all the rest of it, there's a lot of like there's either silt or there's this green like algae weed, and I think using ground bait isn't great in some of these dams. Well, specifically in 50 Rand dam, I don't think it's great because I think there's a lot of silt and algae lining the bottom. So anything that will lift your bait off the bottom. Like I said, I changed from little floats and little FX hook baits and garlic hook baits and large floaties and all the rest of it. I put a marshmallow on, and that's what caught the fish. On both occasions, it was the honeybee large marshmallow, and my only assumption on that could be that the hook and the bait was sitting far enough off the bottom to be in the fish's face. I just don't think the hard floats are buoyant enough to pull that hook high enough. I did also retie all my rigs now with number 1 hooks. That was a suggestion by another commenter on one of my videos. He said to me, try and downsize your hooks and use garlic floats and all that. Like some great suggestions. In case you're wondering, I read all the comments on my videos, and I take the tips you guys give, and I try them out on these lakes and have a look, see if they work. And that's what it is, guys. This channel's all about going to pressured lakes and trying to get the fish to bite. Because the truth of the matter is that we all can't organize, a weekend away or a week away or 1 day away at the ball in the middle of nowhere, or go to a river, or go to a dam, or hard to pierce, or whatever the case is. You know, it's just not possible. And these pressured venues are awesome for the 2, 3, 4 hour session that you're going to go for, but the fishing is much harder. It's not as simple, and that's what this channel is about. It's about going to the nearest dam you can, that you can get to on a regular basis, and how do you maximize your time there. Anyway guys, that's enough from me. This video is long enough. I'll let you enjoy the sunset for now. Please like, comment, subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter if you have Twitter. We even have a TikTok account. We have a Facebook account. We tend to post like most of our pictures and that kind of thing. So if you follow us on any of those accounts, you'll see where we're fishing that day, and if we do go fishing that week. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for your time and for your attention. Have a great week. I hope you guys enjoyed the fishing this weekend, and I hope some of the tips in this video will help you catch the next PB. Till next week, tight lines.